Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios, where tonight the Vikings are getting ready to try and right the ship as they take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll head over to the school and join Dan Petchow as we're getting ready to bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's Dunn St. Croix Conference game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Sarar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready to listen to some exciting high school girls basketball. All of that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to even their record in the Dunn St. Croix Conference to 1 win and 1 loss. On Tuesday, the Vikings suffered a 60-50 season opening defeat at the hands of the Mondovi Buffaloes. In that game, the Vikings were led in scoring by junior forward Madison Barstead, who tallied 16 points. She was followed by senior Marissa Harmon, who added 8. The Vikings seemed to suffer from a lack of rebounding, which limited their second chance shots in that game. In addition, Mondovi simply got hot from the floor and couldn't miss a shot. Now, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves come into tonight's game following a 37-36 season opening win over Gilmanton back on November 24th. They were led in that game by senior forward Anna Blandford, who scored 13 points. Following closely behind Blandford was junior guard Hannah Byer, who tallied another 12. The Wolves are coming off a 12-win, 12-loss 2019-2020 season and look well positioned to possibly make a run in 2020-2021. They returned 3 of their top 5 scorers from last season. The Wolves are led by junior guard Maggie Gloss, who averaged nearly 11 points per game last year. Also returning for the Wolves are the aforementioned Blandford, who averaged just over 9 points per game, and Haley McDonough, who contributed another 6 points per game. Blandford also represented a threat from three-point range, as last season she scored nearly half of her points on three-pointers, shooting those at nearly 30%. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Sarar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking head coach Courtney Sarar. And Coach, On Tuesday, the Vikings suffered a season-opening 60-50 loss to the Mondovi Buffaloes. Your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the way we wanted to start the season, but I think it was a big, a huge learning step for us. Mondovi, they're a great team, and I think, I've told people from the start that they could very easily win the Dun St. Croix. They returned their top four scorers from last year, and we returned none. So we knew it was going to be a challenge, and, we gave them a fight, and I was proud of how our girls never gave up and fought all the way till the end, and we'll just keep getting better.
A big girl would have helped a lot, wouldn't it? I mean, you guys you're about 5'6" all across the board.
Yeah, we're pretty small, and they know that. So we know that we have to be, that's a disadvantage for us. We need to be more physical, especially on, boxing out and rebounding. And, too, it's just, we've had several girls who have hardly practiced at all, and we're still working on that team chemistry, and taking, 10, 12 girls who have never really, played a full game together before is a little bit difficult. So it was, a good experience for us, and we're heading into practice today, ready, to work on some things, and also, looking forward to playing again.
And it's going to happen. There's going to be some good nights too.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of those, tonight the girls take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who are coming off a season-opening 37-36 victory over Gilmanton. That must have been a heck of a game to be at. What can you tell us about the Wolves, and what special challenges do they present?
Yeah, actually, we're in a pretty unique situation with them too. So they recently had a lot of their team members go into quarantine because of COVID. So they only have 8 girls available. So our JV team will actually be playing Fall Creek tomorrow instead of Elmwood Plum City. And to be honest, I am not really sure what girls are going to be there for Elmwood Plum City and what girls aren't going to be there. So I know they do return a couple of very good athletic girls from last year's team that we'll have to make sure, again, that we keep off the boards and, do a great job on those girls. But they too lost, 3 or 4 of their top scorers like we did. And they also have a new head coach. So I'm sure there's some learning curves with them too. And now that they're in that challenge of COVID, I'm not really quite sure what to expect, honestly. So we're just going to prepare as if their whole team is there, because I don't know who's there and who's not. So
yeah, if their whole team was there, I think what I noticed is that they're returning 3 of their 5 top scorers from last year, but who knows who's going to be there. And I noticed that the Blouse girl was not in the Gilmanton game, so I don't know if that was COVID related or injury but it's kind of a crapshoot every week, isn't it, with COVID?
Right, exactly. With COVID, I mean, you just have to prepare for what you can control, essentially. So we're just going to work on what I think we need to work on, and then just, take it day by day, because you can prepare all week for, a certain something, and then it could just not even happen. So we're not going to take the time and energy to do that and just worry about what we can control.
Well, speaking of preparing, what Viking player should we look to step up tonight?
I think Maddie Barsid came off of a really good game, and I know we're looking for her to kind of be that go-to scorer for us right away. She's got the most varsity experience out of all of our girls, and I think a lot of our seniors too will step up to the plate and just hopefully knock some shots down. We have a ton of kids who are capable of making shots, and just got to find a way to put the ball in the basket.
Now, are there any updates on injury or illness or anything like that going into tonight's game?
Well, right now, Jazzy Best is still out with her ankle injury, and that is all that I know of. So unless something changes tonight, she's the only one that I know of.
Okay, good luck, Coach Serrar, in tonight's game, and hopefully the Vikings will find a way to even up that season record.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Viking pregame. The Vikings are looking to even up their Dunn St. Croix Conference record at 1 win and 1 loss. On the other hand, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves would like to show that they're not pretenders and move their record to 2 wins and no losses. For the Vikings to be successful, they must hit their shots and rebound more effectively, especially on the offensive end of the floor. Elmwood Plum City needs to continue their solid shooting. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. In just a moment, I'll be headed over to the school to join my colleague Dan Petchow as we'll bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's all coming up next, and you've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
You've been tuned to Viking pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
They're at the free throw line to Addison from 3. She hit it! Addison Olsen with the 3-point.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Plum being chased down and finally pulled away by Barstead, who puts it up and in.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Look to Best. Best drives into the lane, puts up a shot, rattles around and in. And welcome to Colfax High School, where today the Vikings are getting ready to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, and Dan, the Vikings are looking to right the ship after that disappointing loss on Tuesday. They have to do a little better on the boards and make a few more shots, and maybe things will work out better for them.
Yeah, they started out hot the first half and just got a little bit behind in the second half. Mondovi had some big threes to kind of pull away and get the win.
Well, why don't you tell us who's going to start in this game?
Yeah, here's Elmwood Plum City Wolves 5 starters. They have number 3 junior Haley McDonough, number 11 junior Maggie Glaus, number 14 sophomore Lily Webb, number 20 Hannah Beyer, she's a junior, and number 22 their senior forward Anna Blanford.
And the ones to look out for there are Glaus, Beyer, and Blanford. Glaus is the returning leading scorer from last season.
Yeah, leading scorer, and they got the height in there from their senior Anna Blanford. So for the Colfax Vikings, they're starting 5. They're going to go with number 10 senior Addison Olsen, number 14 senior Bailey Bradford, number 20 senior Marissa Harmon, number 22 junior Madison Barstead, and number 40 senior Jasmine Paulus.
Now, Madison Barstead had a good game scoring-wise. They just need a little bit more scoring output from some of those other girls, and things will work out okay for the Vikings.
Yeah, just make sure they stay spread on the court and get some open looks and try to get some rebounds.
And they're waiting for the scoreboard to hit 0, which it just did, and we're getting ready for the starting lineups and the national anthem. And that's what we're going to get right now.
High school senior Drew Gibson.
Marston had a good game scoring-wise. They just need a little bit
more. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, once so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so heavenly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Senior Drew Gibson with the national anthem. We've heard him a number of times this year. And we will also get a chance to see Drew coming up on Tuesday when the Viking boys basketball team will take on Somerset. And we'll have that game here on the Northern Light Broadcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Viking game begins at 6:55 and play-by-play at 7:10. Imagine my surprise today when I get a text message saying this game will be ahead of an hour. And so that's why we're here so early. About an hour ahead of schedule. That's okay. We're here to watch some basketball.
Do my work at home and get out here to the game.
So we've got the Viking girls and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Last season, the Vikings did the Elmwood Plum City pretty handily, but it's a new year, a new spirit. I know the Elmwood Plum City teams are they are contenders for the conference this year. They returned 3 of their 5 leading scorers from last season, and including their top scorer, Maggie Klaus. They're coming off a win back on November 24th. That Klaus did not play in due to COVID, and they've been hit pretty hard with the COVID bug over there in the Elmwood Plum City area. But and again, the change this year from other seasons is we don't have an opening jump ball. And the Elmwood Plum City girls are out on the floor. McDonough, Glaus, Webb, Beyer, and Blandford. And here come the Vikings. Olson, Bradford, Harmon, Barstead, and Paulus. Blandford is going to inbound the ball for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And she gets it into McDonough. Wolves moving from right to left. McDonough takes it down the right side, feeds it over to Glaus. Glaus drives down to the baseline, puts up a shot. It's no good, gets her own rebound, puts it up and in. Olson brings the ball down the floor for the Vikings. Elmwood Plum City on top, 2-0. Feeds it over to Bradford on the left. Back out high to Paulus at the top of the key. Over to Harmon, down underneath. Barstead with the shot off the glass, and it's all tied up at 2. Ball gets stolen away by Harmon, who lays it up and in for the Vikings, and they're up 4-2. Vikings in that full court pressure. Wolves inbound it to McDonough. And then they get it over to Blandford, still struggling. Now finally they get it across the timeline with Webb. Webb feeds it over on the left side. That's Beyer. Back out high to Webb. And the pass gets knocked away, and Olsen has it. She comes across the timeline. Solo flight going to the hole. She got hip checked out of the way, and the ball goes out of bounds, but it went off an Elmwood Plum City Wolf player, and the Vikings have it. Harmon to inbound the ball. Feeds it out to Paulus in the lane. Tries to put it up. Gets knocked away. Out to Harmon to Olsen. Over to Barstead. Back to Olsen between the circles. She takes it down the left side. Gets it over to Harmon on the right side. Feeds it out to Barstead, and it rolls off her leg and out of bounds. So Elmwood Plum City will have it. 16:31 to go in half number one. Vikings on top, 4-2. Blanford inbounds it to McDonough. Feeds it into the middle to Webb, who now tries to get it up to Glaus, but the ball gets intercepted by Harmon. She feeds it down into the left corner to Bradford, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound taken away by Elmwood Plum City, but the ball gets stolen by the Vikings. Barstead tried to put up the shot, and Olsen has it at the top of the key. Paulus with it, feeds it over to Bradford, and she got called for the double dribble. So Elmwood Plum City to inbound it. Vikings still pretty effective with that full court pressure. Pass comes in to Glaus. She brings it up, gets it across the timeline to McDonough. Tries to feed it down. Ball stolen away by Olsen. It gets it over to Barstead. Or not Barstead. Olsen saves it from going out the end line, but right into the hands of Elmwood Plum City. And they bring it down the floor to McDonough. She's on the right side. Feeds it over into the lane. That's Blanford with the shot. It's no good. Bradford with the rebound. She gets it over to Olsen. She takes it through the timeline, or through the center circle. Now she drives down the right side of the lane. Gives it to Paulus. Paulus into the lane. Tries to feed it out to Barstead. Ball gets away from her, but she chases it down. Gets it over to Olsen. High, wide, and right. Now she takes it between the circles. Over to the left side to Paulus. Back out to Bradford. Now to Harmon with a three. Up and no good. Rebound. Barstead with the rebound, and she feeds it to Paulus. No good of the shot, but Barstead puts the second chance up and in. Actually, it was probably a third or fourth chance. But that's something the Vikings lacked a lot Tuesday, and they got it tonight. All right, down the floor come the Wolves. They're into the forecourt. McDonough with it between the circles. Takes it over to the right side. Feeds it off to Blanford. Back to McDonough, who lays it up and in from the baseline. 6-4, Vikings on top. 14-13 to go in the first half. Olsen brings it through the center circle. She's at the top of the key. Feeds it into the lane to Paulus. Paulus puts up a shot and right through. Didn't touch anything but the bottom of the net.
Good cut to the hoop by Paulus.
8-4, Vikings on top as the Wolves get it across the timeline. It's over on the right side. McDonough with it. Kicks it out high. Shot from three is no good. That shot was by Beyer. And Harmon tried to get loose, and finally she did. Got it over to Olsen. Olsen drives straight down the lane. Lays it up. She got fouled on the way. The ball did not go through, but we got a foul, and I'm checking to see the number. There we go. The foul was on Hannah Beyer. Her first personal, first team foul. Olsen at the line. First shot on the way. It's no good. Several substitutions coming in for the Vikings. Olsen's second shot. It's on the way and off the back of the iron. No good. And the ball gets taken away by by Barstead, and but she got fouled as she put it up toward the basket. And that foul is on Lily Webb. It's her first personal, second team foul against the Wolves. Barstead's first shot is off the front of the iron, no good. Into the Viking lineup is Jillian Bovey, replacing Olsen. Barstead gets the ball for her second shot. It's on the way, rolls around and in. Madison Barstead with her 5th point of the night. We have a whistle, and looks like we have a foul being called on Emily Bertram Schofield, as the Vikings were trying to put on some backcourt pressure again. That's Bertram Schofield's first foul on the Vikings tonight. Wolves inbound it. Lily Webb with it. Tries to feed it down the floor, and it gets knocked out of bounds by the Wolves, and the Vikings will have it. On the right side near the timeline.
Colfax creating turnovers here. It's going to help them in the long run.
Bertram Schofield inbounds it to Bovey. She brings it down, feeds it over to Riley Parker. He feeds it into the lane to Barstead. Now to Bertram Schofield, who puts up the shot and hits a 3. 12-4, the Vikings are on top. And the Wolves come in. Long pass across the timeline, but nobody there except for Parker for the Vikings, who feeds it over to Shipman. Now back out to Bovey, tries a 3, no good. Rebound taken away by the Wolves. Forster with it. She feeds it down underneath to Blanford. The ball rolls around, does not go in. Barstead ties up the rebound, and we get a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Bovey brings it down the floor for the Vikings, right through the center circle. Feeds it over to Bertram Schofield on the right side. Now cross-court pass to Barstead. Puts up a 3, no good. Parker with the rebound. Turnaround jumper, no good. Shipman puts a garbage back up and in. And I'll tell you what, you need those garbage baskets. Timeout called on the floor by the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Vikings 14, Elmwood Plum City 4, 12-14 to go in the first half. You are listening, or you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. As we just had a timeout that was called by the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Vikings on top, 14-4. With 12-14 to go in half number 1. All right, Elmwood Plum City has the ball on the baseline. They inbound it to Forster, and the pass is intercepted by Shipman. Feeds it down underneath, and as Bovey went up with the shot, she got fouled on the way up. So she's going to the line for 2. Jillian Bovey. First shot's on its way, rolls around and does not go in. Vikings having struggles with the free throws tonight. Into the Viking lineup is Abby Irwin, giving Barstead a rest. Bovey gets the ball for the second shot. It's on the way, and it's good. 15-14, Vikings on top. Wolves pass it in, but it gets away from them. Bertram Schofield picks it up, feeds it underneath. Irwin has it. Now she feeds it out to Parker. Tries a long three, and she hit it. Riley Parker with a three-pointer, and a long three-pointer at that. 18-14. Or 18-4, I should say.
Elmwood having a little trouble with the press.
Yes, they are. And they're going to get the Vikings with a foul that time, but McDonough was tied up and trapped in the corner. And that foul is on Shipman. As the Wolves pass it into the corner again. And the girl inbounding, let's see, that would have been Blandford, stepped over the end line before she got rid of the ball, and it's a turnover, and the Vikings have it. Irwin inbounds it. And up and in by Emily Bertram Schofield from in the lane. 20-4, Vikings on top by 16. And the Wolves bring it down the floor. Walsh with it. She has it between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Webb. Webb gets it over to Blandford. Still on the right side. Gets it out high to McDonough. And to Webb. Now it's to Forster. Now to Webb. And Blandford with a three-pointer on the way. No good. Parker with the rebound for the Vikings. And down the floor they come. Bovey with it. Looking for somewhere to go, and she dragged the pivot foot that time as she turned around. She took it all the way down to the baseline, and then decided, yeah, I can't go any further. Tries to turn around, and she didn't keep the dribble going.
Yeah, both teams have to be careful with their turnovers here.
And the Vikings try to trap on the inbound pass, and the Wolves get it across. The Vikings do get a hand on it, but the Wolves maintain possession. And Glaus puts up a shot. No good, and it gets knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. Webb is to inbound it, and she throws a little bit far, and it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be the Viking ball. She threw it a little far, got past the timeline, and by the time the Elmwood Plum City girl got to it, she was already out of bounds. So the Vikings have it. Irwin to inbound it. Gets it to Bovey. Bovey at the top of the key. Over to Irwin on the left. Drives down to the baseline. Turns around. Kicks it out to Tyler Knoll. And then to Bovey, and the pass gets batted down by Elmwood Plum City, and McDonough feeds it over to Webb. Then down to Forster. Forster puts up a shot, and it's good. She was pretty much wide open on the right side. So it's 20-6, Vikings on top. Knoll tries to feed it into the lane, and the ball got knocked out of bounds by the Wolves. Harmon and Olsen back into the lineup for the Vikings. Replacing Bovey and Shipman. Irwin feeds it into Knoll. Gets it over to Olsen on the right side. Feeds it down to Irwin, and she tries to get, and it's on the baseline. Irwin was trying to drive down, and it went off. They're saying it went off an Elmwood Plum City foot. I didn't see that foot there. But the Vikings have it. 9:54 to go. Ball gets inbounded to where nobody was, but Olsen chases it down. Gets it to Knoll. Out to Irwin. Back to Knoll. Tries to put up a shot. Partially blocked. And the Wolves have it. Coming down the floor is Forster. She tries to go up and loses control. And the ball goes out of bounds, and the Vikings get it back. It's a little raggedy right now.
Yeah, both teams got to slow it down just a little bit and get something set up.
Olsen brings it down the floor for the Vikings. She has it between the circles. Feeds it down underneath to Noel, out high to Harmon. Harmon tries to feed it into the lane, and an Elmwood Plum City hand gets in the way, and we have a whistle and jump ball being called. Byer tied up Harmon that time, and into the lineup comes Barstead for the Vikings, replacing Bertram Schofield. And the Wolves bring it down the floor. McDonough with it. Cross court pass over to the right side to Forster. She drives into the lane, puts up a shot, no good, whistle, and we have a foul being called on Olsen. That's her first personal. Be the third team foul. Forster at the line. Her first shot is on the way, and it's short. Vikings up by 14 with 9:14 to go in the first half. Second shot on the way, and that's good. 20-6, or 7. Check that, 20-7. That makes sense. Now it would be a 13-point lead. Olsen has it. She takes it over to the left side. Feeds it out to Irwin. Irwin drives into the lane, tries to go up, but forgot to take the ball with her, and is tied up on the floor, and we finally get a whistle for a jump ball. As Irwin turned to go to the basket, the ball got a little bit on the back of her hip, and she couldn't quite control it, and end up with the jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Vikings, and the inbound pass goes to Irwin. She drives into the lane again, this time kicks it out to Barstead. Barstead tries a three, no good. Rebound, and it's off the Vikings. It will be Elmwood Plum City ball. Blanford and I believe it's Forster back into the lineup. This is Isabella Forrester, or Izzy. McDonough with it. She feeds it over to Webb. Webb across the timeline to Blanford on the right side. Pulls up, looking for somewhere to go with it, closely guarded by Olsen. And feeds it to Webb. Webb tries to go up with a shot, and she got hammered by Noel. Noel kind of looked like a lumberjack out there that time.
Yeah, she was some kind of, let him in the lane.
And the shot is no good. By the way, that's the first foul on Noel, fourth team foul on the Vikings. Second shot on the way, off the back of the iron. Bradford with the rebound for the Vikings. Feeds it forward to Harmon. Kicks it back out to Olsen on the right side. She takes it now between the circles. Feeds it across to Paulus. Puts up a three, and she hit it. Jasmine Paulus hit that three-pointer. 23-7, Vikings on top. Pass down low for the Wolves, and the shot goes up and no good. Shot was made by Byer, and the Vikings have it. Harmon quickly down the floor. Takes it down the left side of the lane. Gives it to Paulus. Paulus looking for somewhere to go. Feeds it out high to Harmon. Then into the lane to Bradford. Her shot's no good, but Barstead puts the rebound up and in. 25-7. Vikings on top. McDonough going end to end. She lays it up and it goes in. Haley McDonough taking it the length of the court for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. 25-9, Vikings on top. Bradford feeds it into the lane to Paulus, lays it up. It's no good, but she got fouled on the way to the basket, and she's going to go to the line for two.
That's two for Hannah Byer.
First shot is no good off the front of the iron for Jasmine Paulus. Paulus with 5 points on the night so far. Next shot's on its way, and it's good. That's 6 points for Paulus and 26 for the Vikings. 26-9. Wolves feed it in to Hannah Forster. She loses control. Barstead with the shot, no good. And we have a little pushing and shoving going on down there as they were tying it up, and we have a timeout being called. With a timeout on the floor. 26-9, Vikings on top, 7:18 to go in the first half. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow. Vikings on top, 26-9, 7:17 to go in the first half, and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves have it. So they're trying to get it across the timeline. They get tied up there. They get it to Glaus. She's between the circles. Feeds it over to Izzy Forrester. Now to Glaus, down near the baseline in the lane. Puts it up twice, no good. 3 times, and she got fouled that time. And they're saying it was on Bradford. That'll be foul number 1 for Bailey. 15 foul for the Vikings. Glaus's free throw is no good. Second shot on the way, and it's through. 26-10, Vikings up by 16. Olsen brings it through the center circle. Feeds it over to Bradford. Out to Harmon from the top of the key. Puts up that 3, no good. Rebound tipped around, and the Wolves come away with it. Coming down the floor is Forster, and now we have a scrum on the floor. And a jump ball being called. That was Hannah Forrester. So I think we're probably going to have to go first names on those two, Hannah and Isabella.
Good job at number 40 for Colfax to get in there and get the jump ball.
That would have been Jasmine Paulus. Olsen with it, drives the lane. She lays it up, and it goes in. Addison Olsen with her first 2 of the night. 28-10, Vikings on top. That's Izzy with it. She got a little bit tied up. Feeds it over to Glaus. Glaus brings it across the timeline. Over to Izzy on the right side. Feed it over to Webb, and the ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Paulus with the steal. They get it over to Olsen, who brings it across the timeline. She kicks it out to Barstead. Barstead puts up the 3, and nothing but net on that one. What a pretty 3-pointer that was. 31-10, Vikings on top. Webb has it. She walked with it before she could get rid of the ball. 5:49 to go in the first half. We have some massive substitutions going on here. Let's see, Bertram Schofield, Barstead, Parker, Shipman, and Olsen are in there for the Vikings. The pass comes into Olsen. She's between the circles. Feeds it over to Parker, who puts up a long 3, no good. Rebound taken down by Barstead. But it gets taken away by the Wolves. Coming down the floor is Webb. She feeds it over to McDonough. McDonough puts up the shot, no good. Ball gets tipped around, and Parker grabs the loose change. Gets it off to Olsen, who brings it down the floor. She comes down the right side, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Barstead, tries to pass it across the lane, and there was just a little too much traffic that time. And the Wolves have it, and they come across the timeline. Webb brings it down the floor for the Wolves. Feeds it over to Izzy. Back out to Webb. To Izzy on the right side. Out high to Hannah. And the pass gets intercepted by the Vikings. Barstead intercepted it, gets it over to Olsen, who comes down the floor. Long pass down to Bertram Schofield. Back out high to Olsen. They get it Shipman. Shipman feeds it out to Barstead. Down underneath the Bertram Schofield. Tries a turnaround jumper. It's no good. Rebound taken down. Goes in coast to coast are the Wolves, and the shot goes up and no good. Rebound taken down by Parker, and we have a foul. I believe it's on Hannah Forster. That's Hannah's first personal, 5th team foul. Olsen comes down the floor for the Vikings. Takes it into the lane, kicks it back out. Long shot this time by Shipman, and it's good. 34-10, Vikings on top. Wolves have it on the right side. Glaus tries to feed it into Izzy. Ball gets knocked out of bounds.
Good job by senior Colfax, number 10, Addison Olsen there to get a hand in there and knock it away.
A lot of substitutions in and out, in and out on both sides. Inbound pass, we have a whistle and a foul. I believe they're going to say Barstead jumped over back to bat that ball away. That's Barstead's first personal, 6th foul on the Vikings. The Wolves will be in the bonus after this. They pass it into the lane to Glaus. Back out to Izzy from just inside the arc. Shot is no good. Glaus with the rebound shot, and it's good. Vikings quickly down the floor. Is Bovey. She took it coast to coast and couldn't quite make the layup when she tried to do the reverse layup, and it didn't go. And the ball ends up out of bounds in the possession of the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Webb gets it, tries to pass it back to Blandford, but the ball got knocked out of bounds by Barstead. Vikings putting a lot of hands and bodies in the way in this full court pressure that they have. Izzy brings it down the floor, feeds it over to Webb. Webb with a three-pointer on the way off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound, we have all kinds of whistles.
Should be an over the back. Number 11.
Maggie Glaus called for the foul. That's her first personal, 6th foul. So now both teams will be in the bonus for the last 3:26 to go in the first half. Bovey with it, over to the right side. Feeds it out high to Shipman. Shipman with a 3, no good. Rebound, chased down by Bertram Schofield. Gets it out to Knoll, then to Bovey, who lays it up and in from the baseline. Or check that was Shipman that laid it up and in. 36-12, Vikings on top. Quickly, long pass down the floor to Glaus. Get it out to Webb, now to Izzy. Izzy on the left side. Now she's at the free throw line. Over in the corner to Blandford. Blandford drives towards the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Bertram Schofield with the rebound. They feed it down the floor to Barstead. She lays it up. No, she overlaid it a little bit. And the Wolves have it. And they bring it down the floor. Izzy with it on the left side. Out to Webb. Webb drives into the lane, and the ball just gets picked out of her pocket. And now we have a scrum for it on the floor again, and we have a jump ball being called. Bertram Schofield just took it out of Izzy's pocket, fed it across, and then the ball got knocked loose, and they were battling for it on the floor. Possession arrow in favor of the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. 2:16 to go. Blandford inbounds it to Glaus. Glaus tries a shot, gets her own rebound, tries it back, and on the third attempt got fouled. And I didn't catch the number. Evidently it was Jillian Bovey on the foul. That's Jillian's first personal. And the first shot by Glaus is up and good. That's 5 points for Maggie Glaus. Check that. That's 6 points for Maggie Glaus. Second shot on the way. It's also good. So we'll just say 7 points for Maggie Glaus. And the Vikings quickly down the floor. Irwin drives the baseline, tries to put a shot up. It's rejected by Glaus. But she chases down her own shot, turns around, jumps it up, and puts it in. 38-14, Vikings up. And the inbound pass is stolen by Irwin. Puts up a shot, gets her own rebound, and tries to put up another shot, but it got knocked out of bounds by the Wolves. Vikings have the ball. Minute 53 to go in half number 1. Irwin looking to inbound it, tries to feed it in to Bertram Schofield, but the pass got intercepted by Elmwood Plum City. It's Forster, it's Hannah Forster, feeding it over to Webb, but the ball gets stolen by Bovey. She drives the length of the floor, lays it up and in. Jillian Bovey. 3 points on the night for Jillian. Now the Wolves bring it down the floor. Webb feeds across court over to Blanford, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound chased down by Beyer. Kicks it out to Webb. Now over to Blanford, another three-pointer. That one she got. Anna Blanford with that shot. Now we have Shipman trying a three-pointer for the Vikings. No good. Rebound gets knocked back in bounds by Bertram Schofield. It's struggled for, and the Wolves come away with it. But now they lose control. Ball's loose on the floor, and now we have it tied up, and
looks like a timeout.
Yes, it does look like a timeout being called. So with 48 seconds to go in the half, Vikings 40, the Wolves 17. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings have a 40-17 lead over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And the Vikings have the ball. They bring it in. Bovey has it. Feeds it over to Noel on the left side. Back out high to Irwin. Over to Shipman. Now to Noel again on the right. Out high to Shipman between the circles. To Irwin. Now to Noel. Back out to Bovey, to Shipman. Vikings using a little bit of time. And we're going to get a foul on Emily Bertram Schofield for a moving screen. And the Wolves have it inbounds. They bring it down the floor with about 10 seconds to go in the first half. That's Blanford feeding it over to McDonough. Drives into the lane, puts up a shot, and she got rejected. And that'll be the end of the first half with the score. The Vikings 40 and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 17. We will have Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today. As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Madison Barstead, a junior here at Colfax High School, and we'll be chatting with Madison right after this message.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We're talking with Madison Barstead on Viking Profile. And Madison, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities at school?
I actually play volleyball. About it other than that.
Okay. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had?
I started playing in about, and we were able to go a few years, so that was kind of fun. We did those. It was always a learning experience.
Okay. So what's the most important thing that you have learned from playing basketball?
To stay resilient. Because you have to get through a lot of things, because some don't go your way and then others, and it's kind of hard.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that interest you or keep you occupied?
I like to read sometime.
What do you like to read?
A lot of different things. I don't know.
Do you have a favorite author?
No.
Okay. All right, I've got a few rapid fire questions for you, and just first thing that pops into your head. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Okay, any kind of cookies?
I like oatmeal raisin.
Ooh, those are so good too. Do you like nuts in them too?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Hey, what's your favorite color and why?
Probably blue.
Okay, that's been a pretty popular one. Now,
yeah.
If you could have a superpower, what would that be and why?
To fly, because then I could go anywhere when it doesn't matter.
And the view from up there would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'd be.
Now, do you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
No, the Bucks are fun.
Okay.
But I don't really keep up with that kind of stuff.
How about college basketball team?
I like watching or.
Okay. So we're talking with Madison Barstead here on Viking Profile. And Madison, you've got a year or so yet before you have to make final decisions, but what are your plans for after high school?
College and some sort of degree. I don't really know when yet.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely finish college. Figure out what's after that.
Do you know what you want to go into at all? Any ideas?
Not really, no.
Okay, plenty of time to figure that out. Hey, how about a shout out to your family?
Hi, Dad.
Okay. So when people watch Viking games here on NLWN-TV, what number do you wear and what position do you play?
Number 22, and I'm more of a post, I guess.
Okay, and that's a little bit different number than what you wore last year, isn't it?
Yeah, I was 20 last year.
So we want to thank Madison Barstead for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now for the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
Colfax Vikings athletics continues with the boys and the girls basketball teams, middle school boys basketball, and they're all underway. The girls Vikings basketball team had their first game of the season with the Bloomer Blackhawks scheduled for Tuesday, November 24th, canceled due to COVID-19. So the girls will begin their 2020-2021 season with 3 games this week. On Tuesday, they take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. On Thursday, they host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and on Friday, they host the Prairie Farm Panthers. All of those games are at home and will be carried on both the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking boys were scheduled to host the Bloomer Blackhawks on Saturday, December 5th. However, that game has been canceled due to COVID-19. The boys will open their season on Tuesday, December 8th when they host the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We will also carry that game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking dance team will compete in the Menominee Holiday Classic in Menominee on Saturday, December 5th, and also the Science Olympiad will be held at Boyceville on Saturday. And that's what's happening for the week of November 30th through December 5th, 2020 at Colfax High School.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
And Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, and we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings have opened up a fairly commanding 40-17 lead as we head into the second half. Our cameraman Jeff needs to know second half.
Yeah, good job by the Colfax Vikings in the first half to put on the press.
Actually,
and,
it's our scoreboard operators down there at the table that haven't realized it's the second half yet. That's what our score thing on the screen comes from. But the Vikings are going to inbound the ball. Harmon with it. Passes it into Olsen. She brings it across the timeline. They're moving from right to left. Gives it over to Bradford. Takes it out between the circles to Olsen on the left. Does a spin move. Drives into the lane. Lays it up and it goes in. Addison Olsen with 4 points on the night. And the Wolves bring it down the floor. 42-17. Vikings on top. They feed it down into the right corner to Blandford. She puts up a shot, no good. Rebound put up, and I think that was by Webb. Now, I take that back. It was Glaus that did that. Olsen with it. Feeds it over on the left side to Paulus. Now out high. The shot is off the back of the air. No good by Bradford. And the rebound gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. Harmon to inbound. She feeds it in to Bradford. They feed it down into the lane now to Paulus. Turns around, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. McDonough takes it across the timeline, then down the right side. Feeds it out to Blandford. Blandford takes it to the lane, then kicks it out high to Webb. Webb over to McDonough. McDonough to Byer. Byer puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, and it just goes out of bounds. And they're going to say the Vikings got a hand on that ball, on the shot, which is why it was so short. And so it's out of bounds off the Vikings. Wolves have it. They inbound it, and going up with the shot is Glaus, and Olsen kind of got in the way, and the foul is on Olsen. Oh, check that. They said the foul was on, not on Olsen. The foul was on Paulus. Glaus's first shot is good. And the second shot is also good. That's 10 points for Maggie Glaus. Vikings 42, Wolves 21. Olsen feeds it into the lane to Harmon, and there's a lot of traffic, and the Wolves get a hold of it. And they're on the floor, and finally it gets passed to Webb, who feeds it down to Blandford, who puts up a shot, and she hit it. Anna Blandford with the shot. That's 5 points for her tonight. Olsen quickly back down the floor, feeds it out to Barstead. Barstead with a three, no good. Rebound taken down by Bradford. Bradford feeds it into the lane to Barstead, puts up a shot. She got fouled on the way up. And that foul is going to be on Maggie Glaus. That's her second personal, first team foul of the half. Barstead's shot is up, and it's good. And now the second shot is on the way. It's also good. 44-23, Vikings on top. McDonough brings it through the center circle. Feeds it over to Webb on the left. Cross-court pass over to Byer. Now down in the corner to Blandford. Puts up a three, and she hit it. Anna Blandford getting the hot hand with 8 points for the night. Olsen with it. Drives down the right side. Lays it up, and it goes in. Addison Olsen with 6 points tonight. Now McDonough brings it across the timeline, being guarded there by Bertram Schofield. But the ball gets stolen by Olsen. She's on a solo flight. She loses the handle on the ball and goes rolling into the wall at the end. And she's going to go to the line to shoot two. And the foul is on Webb. It's her second personal, second team foul.
Olsen's first shot is up, and it's in. I see she hasn't gotten away from that two-handed push shot on the free throws. She did that a lot last year.
Yeah, she's got her own style.
Last year's head coach, Joe Doucette, said, you know what? I don't care as long as they go in. This one goes up, and it also goes in. So it's working for her. 48-26. Vikings on top. The inbound pass gets knocked away by Bertram Schofield, and it goes out of bounds off of Elmwood Plum City. It went off of Blandford, and the Vikings have it. Bertram Schofield inbound. It feeds it out high to Olsen. Olsen between the circles. Over to the right side to Barstead. Barstead takes it into the lane. Now looking down low to Parker. Parker turns around, tries to pass it back out. Gets hung up in the feet, and ball goes over to Elmwood Plum City Wolves. I think Addison Olsen got it caught up in her feet, and as she was trying to get down to get it, she kicked the ball out of bounds. And McDonough brings it up the floor. She's at the top of the key, drives into the lane, kicks it back out. This is Webb driving into the lane, putting it up. No, but we have a whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be on Barstead. That's her second personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. Webb at the line shooting 2. First one's on the way, and it's good. Couple of substitutions into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot by Webb. It's good. 48-28. Vikings up by 20. 14:47 to go in the game. Ball goes over to the right side to Shipman. She gets tied up, but she feeds the pass out to Irwin. Now to Bovey, drives down into the lane. She lays it up. No, off the iron, and it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves, but the pocket got picked by Irwin, and now it gets batted away, and the Wolves do come away with it. McDonough with it in the center circle, being guarded pretty closely there by Bovey. Turns around, tries to drive it into the lane, now looking for somewhere to go. Kicks it out to Hannah Forrester. Feeds it over to the left side to Webb. Webb into the lane with it to Glaus, and she couldn't go up with it. Got tied up into a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Elmwood Plum City, so they have the ball. And they're going to inbound it. They feed it over to McDonough, who loses the handle on it, and the Vikings come away. Shipman coming down the floor. Feeds it over to Irwin. Irwin drives in, kicks it back out to Parker. Now it's over to Shipman. Shipman at the top of the key. Feeds it to Bertram Schofield on the right side. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. Hannah Forrester with it. On the left side. Now she drives down to the left baseline, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Glaus, and she puts up a shot. Got fouled on the way up. And I believe the foul is being called, yes, the foul is being called on Abby Irwin. That's her first personal. Third team foul on the Vikings this half. Glaus at the line, shot goes up and in. Knoll into the lineup for Parker. Second shot on the way, it's also good. 12 points for Glaus tonight. 13 points for Glaus. Ball goes to Shipman, does a turnaround move, drives toward the lane, puts it up, no good, gets her own rebound, puts it up, no good. Rebound being fought for. Irwin comes away with it, gets it out to Knoll. Over to Bovey, feeds it down underneath. And I believe that was Shipman that put it. No, check that. Bertram Schofield. There were a lot of arms and a lot of bodies in there. And just didn't know which belonged to whom. Anyway, the Wolves try to drive into the lane, lose control of the ball. Bertram Schofield picks it up and then feeds it over to Irwin.
And she lost control. And the Wolves inbound it, and a jump shot is good by Blanford. Vikings bring it back down the floor. 50-32, Vikings on top. Feed into the lane, Bertram Schofield turnaround jumper, and too many bodies in her way. Lost control of the shot, and the Wolves come away with it. Wholesale substitutions coming up for the Vikings. Coming down the right side is McDonough, feeds it out to Blanford. Shot no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. They feed it out to Hannah. Drives into the lane, and we have a whistle and a foul being called. I believe they said, oh, it's going to be on Abby Irwin. That's her third personal. First shot is good by Hannah Forrester. Second shot by Forrester is on the way. And it's no good. Rebound taken down by Barstead. She quickly brings it down the floor. Takes it over to the left side. Cross court pass over to Noel. Puts up a shot from the arc. No good. Rebound taken away by Elmwood Plum City. McDonough with it. Coming up across the timeline. They feed it over to Izzy. Now back across to Blanford, who loses control, and the Vikings have it. Olsen to bring it down the floor. Feeding it over to Barstead from three. She hit the three-pointer. 50-33, the Viking, or 53-33, Vikings on top. McDonough feeding it over to Blanford. She drives into the lane, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound tipped around and out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. Olsen with it. As Addison takes it over to the right side, looking for somewhere to go. Harmon with it. Puts up the three, and she hit the three-pointer. Marissa Harmon with a three. And down the floor come the Wolves with McDonough on the dribble. Takes it over to the right side, feeds it to Blanford. Blanford drives towards the lane, doesn't get there. Ball gets tipped around, Vikings come away with it. Bradford has it, feeds it over to Harmon. Harmon tries to get it out. Got a little bit raggedy, few fingertips got on that ball, and the Wolves have it. 10:35 to go in the ball game. McDonough gets it over to Izzy. Now to Hannah. Puts up a shot. No good. Rebound taken down by Barstead. Gets it over to Olsen. Olsen quickly down across the timeline. Drives towards the lane. Feeds it out to Harmon, to Barstead. Barstead with it. Looks for Olsen. She's got it from three. Off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound taken away by the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And McDonough brings it down the floor. Tries to go to the right. Get it over to Blanford. The ball gets knocked around, and it gets knocked out of bounds. Addison Olsen got a hand on it, and Elmwood Plum City maintains possession. Webb came in for Elmwood Plum City. She has the ball, puts it up, and we have a whistle. I heard that slap all the way up here. It was like they were giving each other a high five. The foul is on Bailey Bradford. Second personal on her. Sixth team foul on the Vikings. So with 9:49 to go, and the first shot, by the way, is good by Webb. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves will be in the bonus from this point on. Webb's second shot is on its way, and it's good. 56-35. Olsen brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side to Bradford. Out high to Harmon. Puts up the three. She hit the three-pointer again. Marissa Harmon with another three-pointer. That's 8 points on the night for her. Down the floor come the Wolves. Webb with it. Feeding it over to the right side to Blanford. Blanford takes it into the lane. Puts a shot up. No good. Rebound by Glaus. Her shot is no good. Bradford gets the rebound and gives it to Olsen, who brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Feeds it down underneath to Barstead. She puts up a shot. It does not go, but she got fouled on the way up. So Maddie Barstead going to the line. First shot on the way. It's good. We have 4 in and 4 out for the Vikings. So Barstead's the only one that stays in. And we do have one waiting for her. And so she gets to take a break as well because her second shot was good. 61-35, Vikings on top. Barstead has a seat with 17 points on the night. McDonough bringing it down the floor for Elmwood Plum City. Takes it down the right side, feeds it out to Webb. Webb drives to the lane, tries to put the shot up, no good. Ball taken down by Glaus. Her shot is no good, and the Vikings come away with it. Bovey tries to feed it down to the baseline and just kind of overled, and it goes out of bounds. So Elmwood Plum City with it. 8:48 to go. McDonough across the timeline. Drives to the lane, kicks it out to Webb. High, wide, and left. Or high, wide, and right, I should say. Now over to the left side to Izzy. To McDonough between the circles. McDonough does a spin move in the lane. Now feeds it out to Byer, who puts up a shot. It's no good, and we have a whistle and a foul. And the foul is on Elmwood Plum City. No, it's on the Vikings. And the foul is on Jillian Bovey. And they're trying to decide if it's a two-shot foul or a bonus. Little discussion going on. Well, it's Glaus at the line.
It's going to be a bonus.
First shot on the way. It's good. It might as well have been a 2. 61-36. Vikings on top. Second shot on the way. It's also good. 15 points for Maggie Glaus tonight. She's had a good night from the floor. Emily Bertram-Schofield drives the left side, puts it up, turnaround jumper, it's good. She drove down, planted the foot, turned around, gave herself a little room, jumped it up and put it in. 9 points for Emily Bertram-Schofield tonight. The Wolves have it. Webb feeds it across the lane, and the ball gets knocked loose. We have a whistle and jump ball. Glaus and Bertram-Schofield had it all tied up. Knoll in for Paulus. As the Vikings bring it down the floor. Bovey with it. Feeds it over to the right or left side to Irwin, and she put up the 3, and it's good. Abby Irwin with a 3-pointer. That's something the Vikings sorely lacked the other night, and they're getting a few of them tonight. 66-37. McDonough with it in the lane, looking for somewhere to go. Feeds it out to Webb on the left side to Byer. Tries to get it to Izzy, but the pass is intercepted and down the floor and got her shot blocked. That was Abby Irwin, and as they were both running after the ball, Irwin reached out and pulled her back a little bit. And Izzy's going to go to the line for the 1-and-1.
That's Abby's third foul. Actually, that's her fourth.
Izzy's shot is up and no good. Rebound chased down by Jillian Bovey. She brings it down the floor. Over to Irwin. Out high to Shipman. Shipman feeds it to Irwin underneath. Looking to get position and can't get the shot to go, but got fouled on the way up. So Abby Irwin at the line. First shot is on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. And Irwin's second shot. Rattles around and in. And we have a horn for a substitution after the made free throw for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. McDonough brings the ball down the floor now. Drives to the lane. Kicks it out to Blanford. Feeds it over into the left corner to Webb, who puts up a shot, and it's good. 67-39, Vikings on top. Noel with it on the right side, tries to feed it into the lane. Shipman thought that it went off Elmwood Plum City, and the official didn't agree with her. So the ball went out of bounds off the Vikings, and Elmwood Plum City Wolves have it. Deliberately down the floor comes McDonough, taking her time, feeding it over to the left side. This is Hannah, and she puts it up no good. Rebound being fought for underneath, and the Wolves come away with it. Webb puts the shot up. It's no good, but she did get fouled on the way up. I believe the foul is on Noel. Yes, it's her second personal. Webb's shot is up and in. That's the ninth foul on the Vikings this half. So from this point on, the Wolves will be in the double bonus. Second shot's on the way, and it's good. Whereas the Wolves have about 3 fouls to give. Quickly down the floor come the Vikings, and putting up the shot is no good. That was Shipman trying to get the shot to go, and away with it comes Webb for the Wolves. She drives down to the free throw line, tries to feed it out. Ball stolen by Bovey. Bovey takes it down the right side, turns around, puts it up, no good. Rebound, taken down and put back up, and it rolls off. I believe that's Jeanette Hajdukovic. She puts the shot up, and it rolls around and goes off. Second shot is up, and it also goes off. And down the floor come the Wolves. Driving the baseline is Hannah Forster. Shot doesn't go, but the rebound's by Beyer, and she puts the shot up, it goes in, and she also draws the harm. And the foul is on Shipman for the Vikings. That's Shipman's second personal. Blanford will be at the line, shooting 1. She's had a good night from the floor as well. She's got 12 points on the night. And her free throw is no good. Rebound gets tapped around and gets, they say it went out of bounds. It's Viking ball. It went off, I believe it was Hannah Forster for the Wolves. Stepped on the end line as she was trying to chase it down. Bovey brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Shipman chases the ball down as it got loose. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic. Now over to the left side to Shipman. And it's out to Reen. Reen puts up a shot. It's no good. Rebound. Put up and in by Shipman. Shipman has 9 points on the night. McDonough with it, and the ball gets taken away again. This time by Shipman. She turns around, puts it up, no good. Rebound. Goes out of bounds, and it went off the Vikings. Or check that, they're calling a foul. And it's on Hajdukovic. That's her first personal. Double bonus for Hannah Forrester. First shot's on its way. It's good. 69-44. Vikings on top. 4:52 remaining in the ball game. Second shot on its way. Rolls around and in. 69-45. Bovey with it on the right side. Feeds it over to Goodell, and it gets out of bounds. And Vikings will have it. Jenna Goodell to inbound. Into Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic lays it up and in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with her first 2 varsity points. The Wolves have it with McDonough at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left side to Hannah. Puts up the shot. It's no good. And goes out of bounds off of Hannah. Hannah Forrester, and it is Viking ball. Reen inbounds it to Bovey, who takes it through the center circle. And then over to Reen again. They try to make the pass. The ball gets stolen by the Wolves, and as they bring it down the floor, there's a whistle and a foul. I think the foul is going to be on Aaliyah Reen. It is. That's her first varsity foul. Anna Blandford at the line. First shot is good. 3:59 to go. Second shot is also good. Bovey with it, tries to feed it into the lane to Reen. She passes it back out to Bovey to Hajdukovic. Turnaround jumper in the lane, no good. Rebound taken down by the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Between the circles is Hannah. Picks it up, flips it over to Kenzie Bauer. Now back to Hannah, and she lays it up and in front, right from the front. 71-49, Vikings on top. Quickly down the floor is Bovey, and she got hammered as she was trying to drive into the lane. Vikings will have it out of bounds. The foul was on Kenzie Bauer. Her first. That's the 6th team foul. So the Vikings will go to the bonus after this. Goodell inbounds it to Hajdukovic. Shot is no good. Rebound by Reen. She tries to put it up. It's no good. And it goes off of Reen and out of bounds. And it will be Elmwood Plum City ball with 3:09 to go. Hannah Forrester brings it across the timeline. Tries to take it to the right side. Got her pocket picked by Bovey, but Bovey lost control, and it got picked up by the Wolves, and they try a shot, and it's no good. And down the floor come the Vikings. It's over on the right-hand side, and the ball's loose on the floor. We have a tied-up ball. They have a player down there for Elmwood Plum City that's in the game that we don't have the number for, but I believe that's Allison Fleischhauser. Anyway, they feed it down in the corner. And that was to Hallie Gillis, and it got tipped away, and we have a whistle and a foul as Reen was trying to drive to the basket. The foul is on Elmwood Plum City, and the foul is on Fleischhauser. So Reen at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. And the first one is good. Aaliyah Reen. That's her first varsity points. Second shot is on its way. Off the front of the iron, rebound. And we have a jump ball being called. It sure looked to me like Jeanette Hajdukovic had grabbed that ball. I mean, it was being fought for, but they say no, they had it tied up. Inbound pass to Hajdukovic, and she puts the shot up and in. That's 4 points for Hajdukovic tonight. They feed it out to the right side, now to the top of the key. It's Hannah Forrester for the Wolves. She drives into the lane, puts up the shot. Hajdukovic blocks it. Feeds it over now to the Vikings. This is Bovey with it between the circles. Getting it over to Goodell. Goodell over to Reen. And it's back out to Shipman. Shipman at the free throw line. Feeds it to Hajdukovic. She puts a shot up. It rolls around no good. Rebound being fought for underneath. And the Wolves come away with it. And down the floor comes Blanford for the Wolves. Or check that. That's Hannah Forrester. She feeds it. We have a timeout being called on the floor by the Elmwood Plum City Wolves with 1:13 to go. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petshaw. We've got 1:13 left in this one. Vikings have been on top from the get-go, 74-49 right now. And the Elmwood Plum City Wolves have the ball at the top of the key. Gillis with it. Looking for somewhere to go, tries a cross-court pass, and Hajdukovic gets her hands in the way. Feeds it up to Shipman, then to Goodell. Out high to Bovey between the circles. Bovey tries to get it over to Goodell. It got tipped, but Goodell got it. Goodell takes it out between the circles. To Reen, to Hajdukovic. Over to Shipman. To Bovey. Back to Shipman. Shipman is now between the circles. 30 seconds remaining. Goodell has it. Over to Shipman. Vikings using up clock. 22 seconds remaining. Bovey with it. About 15 seconds to go. Bovey feeds it over to Reen. Reen dribbles it back out high. Feeds it to Bovey. Vikings have always done a nice job of killing the clock at the end of the game. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's the end of the ball game. Quite a difference from the other night. Final score tonight, the Colfax Vikings 74, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 49. Big difference in the outcome tonight. Dan's trying to quickly get the scores all tallied up, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a bit of a timeout, and then we'll come back with Viking postgame. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking girls basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
Well, here we are back at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow as the Vikings have just ended up winners of the 74-49 variety over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And Dan, you have some totals for us.
I do. For Elmwood Plum City, here's their scores. Their leader tonight was number 11, Maggie Gauss. She had 15, followed by number 22, Anna Blanford. She had 12. Hannah Forster had 8. Lily Webb had 8. Haley McDonough had 4. And Hannah Byer had 2. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer tonight was number 22, Maddie Barstead, with 17. And a whole line of them here. We have Emily Bertram Schofield. She had 9. McKenna Shipman had 9. Addie Olson had 8. We got someone here. Abby Irwin had 6. We had Jasmine Paulus with 6. We had Marissa Harmon with 8. We had Jillian Bovey with 3. We had Jeanette Hajdukovic with 4. We had Riley Parker with 3. And we had Aaliyah Reen. She had 1 point. So 11 girls with scoring points for Colfax.
And so joining us right now in a much better mood than last Tuesday is the Viking head coach. And, Coach, this is a whole lot more fun.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you win a game, it's, everyone's smiling. So I was proud of the girls and how we bounced back, and, we came ready to play tonight. Elmwood's a very good team. They have a lot of really athletic girls, who've been around the block, and I was, impressed that we just put the hammer to them right away.
And the girls, their shooting seemed to wake up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's always great when everyone's making shots. So I know, Maddie was lighting it up. Marissa made quite a few threes. So I was just impressed with the way, our passing was there. We always seemed to find the open girl. We went from a good shot to a great shot. And they were hustling a little bit more, getting body in position a little bit better for rebounding. And that's going to pay off big tomorrow night. Yes, I really stress, that Maggie Glausch, she's very athletic. And you could see that. I bet you she had at least 10 rebounds, even though we tried to, that was our stressor, was to keep her off the boards. Tomorrow night they're going to be just as big as her in every position, so we'll have our hands full on the rebounds. I really stressed this week in practice that we need to make sure that we get a body on somebody, box out. You can't just turn and jump, and I'm hoping that pays off for us tomorrow as well. Okay, well, enjoy this one, Coach. They don't always come easy, but this one, I'm not going to say this was easy, but you know what? There was a delightful, absolutely, totally non-basketball sight that I saw right at the end of the game, and that was Grandpa coming in with that new little one of yours. Yeah. And, boy, did he look like a happy grandpa. Yeah, he was proud to bring her into the locker room and happy that, the game got moved up so she could come watch us. So, yeah. Well, Coach, congratulations, and we'll see you right back here for more fun tomorrow night. All right, sounds good. Thank you. And, folks, we will be back with some final thoughts right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Hey!
Okay. If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
And we're back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings have just topped the Elmwood Plum City Wolves by a score of 74-49. We had a pretty happy Coach Serrar coming up here. And Dan, your final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, their future looks pretty good. It's nice when you see 11 girls contribute to the team, and all the way down to their freshman, Jeanette Hajdukovic. That's a good future for Colfax.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, she's got some size to her also. That's something we were saying, so she can come around.
Yeah.
And
they created lots of turnovers tonight and good ball pressure. So we'll see if they can bring that tomorrow night.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, why don't we just come back here tomorrow night and do some more basketball? What do you think?
That sounds just fine to me.
Okay.
Better than doing dishes.
So for Dan Petshaw, this is Rick Olson. Final score once again, Colfax Vikings 74, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 49. They've evened up the record at 1 win and 1 loss, and you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Sometimes